want to get nostalgic, like right off the bat. Let's wax poetic a little bit. Let's tell stories here. And let me make sure that I share this on Facebook, that the man himself is on here with us. What do you make of all of this? I mean, if you look back, you're out here doing your thing, racing on the street, the legendary yellow Mustang that we all know and love. I still have an affinity for that car personally. You guys start organizing these cash days events that really explode on the internet, on YouTube. I think we got to give some credit to Kyle Loftus and the gang at 1320 Video that caught a lot of those early cash days events. I knew that there was an underground energy that was building. Next thing you know, Street Outlaws debuts or premieres on the Discovery Channel. You guys are amongst the biggest R's in car culture, moving up like incredibly, leapfrogging some of the biggest stars the sport of drag racing has ever known. And now you're at the center of the No Prep King spinoff. There's a dozen other spinoffs. It seems like automotive content is all over all these major channels. I mean, does any of this feel real? I mean, you're a dad, you're a regular guy. You just told me you were going to be late because you're picking up your kiddo from school. I mean, what's this situation even like for you?
Yeah, Wes. I mean, let's just start at the beginning. You know, back in 2013, 14, whenever it was, whenever they approached all of us about this show, you know, all of us, you know, like Chief, Dave, we all thought that it was the cops with some underground like sting to arrest us as we were street racing on camera, right? So, you know, to look at that, where it was when it started to where it is now. I mean, none of us thought that it would continue longer than a season, much less 2 seasons, 3 seasons now into we're racing on, you know, tracks in front of thousands of people on TV. I mean, you know, no one ever thought that would happen. I mean, I'm a dumb street racer, you know, I'm not supposed to be doing this stuff. So it's like surreal is the way to put it.
Is there I mean, how much, I mean, I guess to be honest, it's kind of crazy that you said that 2013, because that felt like a little bit of a kick in the stomach, because at this stage in the game, it feels like 100 years ago. I mean, so much has happened, but that's less than 10 years back that you guys were racing in industrial areas in Oklahoma, largely unknown to the world out there. All these things are happening by way of message board. We talked about this a little bit last week. And now the stuff's on national television and people around the world know about it. I mean, you're a legit celebrity in our world. You're a part of pop culture, man. It's crazy.
It is crazy. And, you know, to think back in the day before the show, like, Wes, we were happy to be racing for $2,500. You know what I mean? We would all pay in $100 and there'd be 24 of us and it'd be a $2,400 payout. We're like, yeah, this is big money. And now, dude, we just aired a mega cash days where it paid $100,000 to win. And dude, it's amazing. I never, ever in my wildest dreams would have thought that it got to where it's at. But I mean, you can't deny what it's done for drag racing. You know what I mean? I mean, oh my God, it's just sent it to another level.
I think that's the biggest victory for all of this. And there's a lot of them that I want to talk about. But one of the things that I remember when we first put, not the entire cast, I can't remember if you were in that cover shoot that we did with Big Chief, Murder Nova. I remember Chuck was there, Farm Truck and Asian were there. We put you guys on the cover of Drag Illustrated magazine, and it was a real controversial thing when it happened. I didn't know. I was not, I mean, just to be completely candid and honest, I had no idea the pushback we were going to get. It was a big moment for me because I go, holy crap, a lot of people really care about what we put in this magazine. Like, oh my goodness, I had no idea that so many people cared. And that whole thing, I stood behind it though, and I wrote it and I put it in writing. And that's something that I still try to remind people about, the significance of the printed word. Even here in 2021, when everybody's all about instant gratification and everybody wants it here and now, right now, there's a permanence to the written word, to the printed word. There's a gospel nature to it that I find still cuts through. And I remember feeling proud to send my editorial, my letter from the editor at the front of the magazine to press, because I can't delete that tweet, right? I can't edit.
Take it back.
I can't take it back. I'm going to put it in 15,000 mailboxes and I got to live with it. Yep. And I remember saying that I don't care if these guys are racing on the moon, in a school zone. I mean, I don't really care. The fact that I can turn on network television during prime time and see people doing burnouts, see smoking tires, wheel stands, header flames, I get goosebumps talking about it. You cannot tell me that's not a huge victory for our sport. I mean, it absolutely is. It brought car culture and hot rodding and racing back into the forefront, and it hadn't been for decades. So I'm infinitely thankful, and I want to say it right here. I mean, I think there's some belief that like Wes and the guys at Drag Illustrated don't respect what's happening at No Prep Kings, and I don't know that I care necessarily, but that's not the case, because we've been fans. We've supported this movement since before it was fashionable to do so, and it's so significant for our sport. So Chris, on behalf of drag racing, thank you, man, because what you guys have done is very, very, very important. And I think we all owe Street Outlaws and No Prep Kings and all of this Motor Trend, Discovery, Pilgrim Studios. There's a lot of people. We owe you a lot. We really do.
Yeah. And first of all, I appreciate you saying that, because a lot of people won't say that, even though they think it. They're not going to come out and say it. So, I appreciate it. A lot of the guys in drag racing, in some forms of drag racing, may not approve of what we do, and that's okay. You know what I mean? It's not everybody's cup of tea, right? But we enjoy it, and it's only going to go up from here. It only gets bigger from here. I mean, I can't fathom it, but I just know it. It's just going to get bigger. So,
and is there any other? I mean, let me ask you this: the question I have written down is, do you personally see Street Outlaws, No Prep Kings specifically, as the biggest, or at least the most visible platform or stage in drag racing today?
Hands down, I think No Prep Kings is bigger than any other form of drag racing. You can't deny it, right? You can't deny the viewership. You can't deny the payouts. You can't deny the attendance. So, I mean, they all speak for themselves on the success of No Prep.